Jesse have it, because he's doing it. Yeah.
Swear everything you're talking about overthrowing the government.
Crap, why I never got it. Yeah, yeah.
She's starting to age probably
Oh, we are here to see, I think I said it to you, the Irish rep. That's not the only place there's there.
Oh, the Irish rep.
Oh,
Yeah, right, right.
yes,
Mhm.
I saw that. Those rep years ago. Direct show.
The first time I was there was Karen was doing something like that. I don't remember the place, but then I went again when they were doing unexperience forever. That's Jericho, which was really lovely. That was a few years ago.
I think I saw that.
Oh, did
It's
you?
wrong, but I noticed that there was a lot.
I saw that at Boston.
And Barbara Bears, where she was replaced.
That's New York.
And actually, I think I read that. No, I didn't see that. I was born in 72, so that was before my,
I'm not even on the
but I remember reading, Louis Theron was hired, was actually getting more money than John Cohen. John Cohen had a job, he actually paid off Louis short, and he was making more money than John Cohen was.
She does.
I don't know how that worked out, but that's how it worked out. Yeah. Well, I know Alan J. Ritter really wanted to because, he wanted to tell him because, he was here in Camelot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he knew he had that voice, he had that voice, I for
That's
him.
one of the loveliest pictures. Oh, she is.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I'd like to remind you to please refrain from taking any photographs this evening, as the show is being videotaped. And now, won't you please welcome your host, Kenneth Gartman.
Yay! I greeted most of you when you came in, except for you. Can you sit in one of these over here? We just asked. So you didn't get the instructions because I was not there. But we're glad you're here. And there are seats back there. There's a couple. You can even sit in the one by the desk if you wanted. So whatever makes you happy. Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're watching us at home. There are as many people watching us at home as there are here, so that's always nice. You're not alone. But we're very glad that you've come out to support. Undoubtedly, you have a friend that's performing tonight, yes? Is anyone here because you don't know anyone in the show? It's probably because you're here with somebody who does know somebody in the show. And probably the same for people at home. So I'm very glad that we get to do this in this sort of live stream, this hybrid version, and that they're getting to see it the exact same time as y'all. It makes it nice. If for some reason you'll need to breathe and you need to lower your mask, most of you are sitting with people who you are associating with. I ask that you keep it on for the most part. If you just need to pull it under your nose, I'm not going to police it during the show. And y'all are pretty spread out, so I think we are good to go. in those ways. But these ladies have been working so hard for the past 6 weeks, and they signed up for the workshop, and they had ideas of what they were going to do. Some of those ideas went out the window, and some of those ideas stayed in the show. Then we created new things. It was really fun working with them. We worked once a week for 3 hours for 6 weeks. So we had 6 sessions, 3 hours each. And they put together their sets. And so they're each going to do a 3-song set for you tonight. And I just want you to just give them all the love and support in the world. Some of them have done this before. Some of them, it's their first workshop. Some of them have done workshops in other places or shows in other ways, but maybe not cabaret in this sort of setting, this intimate setting. So I'm very excited for them. It's one of their birthdays today, which is exciting too. So Tina Burgett, it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Tina! And undoubtedly they're a little bit nervous. And undoubtedly y'all are excited to see them and for me to shut up, so I'm going to do that. No pictures, no video, just be in the present, enjoy the show. You can go back and watch it when they're happy with their performance and decide to post their clips on YouTube afterwards, right? So without further ado, I bring you our first entertainer of the evening. I'm going to announce her from the piano. Please welcome Cathy Cavender. I'm going to do that again because my piano turned itself off. So you're going to give her, and I think that was sort of a practice round for applause anyway. I think y'all can do a more enthusiastic welcome. So please welcome Cathy Cavender.
When the sky's a bright canary yellow, I forget every cloud I've ever seen. So they call me a cockeyed optimist. I'm mature, yet incurably green. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done and we might as well be dead. But I'm only a cockeyed optimist, so I can't get it into my head. I hear the human race is falling on its face and hasn't very far to go. But every whippoorwill is selling me a bill and telling me it just ain't so. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done and we might as well be dead. But I'm stuck like a dope with a thing called hope, and I can't get it out of my heart. Not this heart. Thank you so much. We are so thrilled that you're here tonight. I speak on behalf of all my classmates from Kenneth's wonderful cabaret class, and also welcome to all of you live streaming from home or wherever you're live streaming from. So it hasn't been the easiest time to be an optimist. I mean, the last couple of years have been rough, am I right? But you know, you are what you are, and that's what I am. And I used to think that maybe I was born that way, but now that I'm a little older, I can see that my parents raised me to be an optimist, because my parents were optimists. I mean, just to give you an example, we moved a lot. My dad was in the Air Force. I went to 3 high schools. And moving is one of those things, you know, those like life's most stressful moments lists. Moving is usually right up there with like divorce and getting fired. But in our family, it wasn't, because my parents just set it up so that moving was the best thing ever, because we were gonna go someplace where there were terrific things to do that we'd never done before. Like when we moved to the Philippines, they quickly figured out that you could fly space available, which means free, on Air Force planes going all over Asia, and we got to travel, and it was fantastic. And then when we moved to New Jersey, and nobody's really excited about moving to New Jersey, but my mom was saying, we'll get to go to New York. And even though we'd been to Hong Kong, New York sounded really great. So that's kind of how it went for us. And I know now that I learned from my parents that it was okay to get out of your comfort zone. They were from a little town in Alabama, and take chances, and things would probably work out. Jenna, who's the lead character in the musical Waitress, is trying to figure out how things are going to work out in her life. She is really at a crossroads. She's married to a man who's abusive, and she's on the brink of leaving him when she finds out that she's pregnant. And on top of that, she works as a waitress in a diner, and she makes these fabulous pies, and she'd like to have a business making pies. So she's got to figure out how to reconcile all these different parts of her life. It's not simple to say. Most days I don't recognize me with these shoes and this apron. This place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true, I was never attention's sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She's gone, but she used to be mine. And it's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. And now I've got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two. For the girl that I knew would be reckless just enough, would get hurt, but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by a man who can't love. And then she'll get stuck and be scared of the life that's inside her, growing stronger each day till it finally reminds her to fight just a little, to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone years ago, I was at a crossroads. It wasn't like Jenna's. After 35 years as a magazine editor and a wonderful career, my career was over. And it wasn't just my career, our whole industry just imploded. I mean, you've probably noticed there aren't any magazines anymore. And I had to figure out what to do. And, you know, a lot of my friends were really devastated by this loss. I mean, they didn't really know who they were without this career that we all identified with so much. But I never really felt like that. I was grateful for what I had had, but I was also excited about the idea of something new, the next thing. I guess, you know, those lessons I learned moving, finally they paid off. And I thought, you know, what a gift. I have a chance to do something I might like even better. But I didn't know what that was going to be. And so I had to look back, and I remembered that before my whole magazine life, I'd studied music pretty seriously, but I'd kind of run away from the idea of doing that full time as a career. It's a really tough life, and I didn't think I was good enough. But at this point in my life, I thought, why the hell not? You know, why not do something that I just want to do purely for passion without the pressure of having to make a living from it? And so that's what I decided to do. And I remember sitting around at the last magazine I worked at when things were going down the tubes and we all were talking about what we were going to do next. And I said, well, I think I want to be a cabaret singer. And you could see that they all thought, oh my God, she's lost her mind. And maybe I had, but you know, that was 7 years ago, and I've had a great time since then, so yay. So, you know, life, none of us knows what's coming at us next, and we all do the best we can, right? And if you're an optimist, maybe you just plunge ahead, and if you're a pessimist, you pull the covers over your head, and if you, some people fake it till they make it, and then some people rely on a little extra help, maybe some liquid courage. Regan, are you there? Can you bring those drinks we talked about? Thank you. Now it'd be good. Yeah. As we stumble along on life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we bumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth, barely knowing left from right or right from wrong. And the best that we can do is hope a bluebird will sing his song as we stumble along. It's a dismal little world in which we live. It can bore you till you have nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents. Antarctica? Oh, please! Still, you mustn't let it lick ya. This planet, oh so bland. Keep your eyeball on the highball. in your hand. As we stumble along, cross life's crowded dance floor, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn. And when we finally leave the bar and we see that morning star, we pull our bootstraps up and homeward turn. Then we stumble our way through dawn's blinding sunbeams, barely knowing right from right or left from wrong. But as long as we can hear that little bluebird, there'll be a song as we stumble along, as we stumble, bumble, fumble, plumble, as we stumble along.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cathy Cavender. I want to remind you to make sure your phones are turned off. I'm hearing a little ding, ding, dings here and there with some of your text messages. So if you have any doubts, now's a good time to check it and make sure. Because a ding, ding is one thing. A phone ring, ring is not as exciting, right? So please, let's welcome our next entertainer, Miss Karen Isaacs.
Slim, straight, light on my feet are the days gone by, with some guy who just happened to catch my eye. Slim, straight, floating the ground, shoes just skimming the ground. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, follow the beat. Around, 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 all night, circling the floor, till dawn lit up the sky. No one younger than I in days gone by. Dance, the band's beginning to play. The last dance, the end of a wonderful day. Where did the night go so soon, so soon? Who stole the hours away? Only a moment ago or so, the band began to play. Time is so careless with hearts in tune. Swift when we most want it slow. Where did the night go so soon, so soon, so young, but a moment ago, so young, but a moment ago. mother was a remarkable woman. She was born at the beginning of the 20th century. She was the only child in her household to go to college. She was a teacher, and when she got married in the 1920s, she was fired because the contracts in Connecticut, that was part of the clause. You had to be single. She didn't let that stop her. Yeah, that was the world back then. She didn't let that stop her. She ended up teaching in a private school. And after World War II, Connecticut finally got enlightened and hired married women, and she went back. She raised her 3 daughters to be independent women, and her sons all married very independent women. So it has gone down into her further generations, her granddaughters and her great-granddaughters. It wasn't until my 20s when I realized that she was the only mother working outside the home in our suburban Stratford neighborhood. Most, particularly any married woman, even a widow, did not work outside the house. They stayed in, they cooked, they cleaned, they did dishes, they did laundry before dryers and dishes before dishwashers, and ironed and sewed, and they didn't have a car, and that was their lives. It took me a while, and then I started thinking about what happened to these women later in life when their children had grown and left the house, when perhaps their husbands had died. Did they keep on doing that, or had they had some dreams of their own, some fantasies that they were finally able to fulfill? I'll sing you a song, it's not very long, its moral may disconcert you, about a mother and wife who most of her life was known for domestic virtue. She had 2 strapping daughters and a rather dull son, and a much duller husband, who at 61 elected to retire and later on expire. Sing hallelujah, hey nonny no, hey nonny no, hey nonny no. He joined the feathered choir. Having laid him to rest by special request in the family mausoleum, as his widow repaired to the home they had shared, her heart sang a gay Te Deum. And then in the middle of the funeral wake, while adding some liquor to the tipsy cake, she briskly cried, "That's done, my life's at last begun." Sing hallelujah, hey nonny no, hey nonny no, hey nonny no. It's time I had some fun. Today, though hardly a jolly day, at last had set me free. We'll all take a lovely holiday on the island of Capri. In a bar on the Piccolo Marina, life called to Mrs. Wentworth Brewster. Fate beckoned her and introduced her into a rather queer, unfamiliar atmosphere. She just sat there, propping up the bar beside a fisherman who sang to a guitar. When accused of having gone too far, she just said, "Fancy me, particularly fancy me." When he bellowed, "Que bella signorina," sheer ecstasy at once produced a wild shriek of delight in Mrs. Wentworth Brewster, changing her whole demeanor. When both her daughters and her son said, "Please come home, Mama," She answered rather bibuliously, "Who do you think you are? Nobody can afford to be so la-di-da-di-da in a bar on the Piccolo Marina." Every fisherman cried, "Viva, viva, che bella ragazza!" When she sat on the grand piazza, everybody would rise. Every fisherman sighed, "Viva, viva, che bella inglese!" Someone even said "whoopsie-daisy," which was quite a surprise. Each evening with some gay excuse and beaming with goodwill, she'd just slip into something loose and totter down the hill to the bar on the Piccolo Marina, where love called to Mrs. Wentworth Brewster. Hot flushes of delights abused her. Right round the bend she went, picture her astonishment. Day in, day out, she would get about because she felt she was no longer on the shelf. Night out, night in, throwing back the gin, she merely cried, "Funiculi, funicula, funic yourself." Just for fun, 3 young sailors from Messina bowed low to Mrs. Wentworth Brewster, said "Scusi," and promptly goosed her. Then there was quite a scene. Her family, in floods of tears, said, "Leave these men, Mama." She said they're just high-spirited, as all Italians are. And most of them have a great deal more to offer than Papa. In a bar on the Piccolo Marina. So maybe some of my friends' mothers went to Capri. I hope so. As you get older, people do say the strangest things to you. I recently bought a stove for my house, and somebody said to me, "Well, it's probably the last stove you'll ever buy." And I sort of thought, I'm not really planning on leaving that soon. But that's another thing. And don't get me started about bucket lists, because, people keep asking you, what's on your bucket list? I had a bucket list when I was 40. Now I don't. Some of the things I've realized are never going to happen. I'm not going to be discovered and star in a Broadway musical and win a Tony. Others I no longer want to do. And, most of the stuff I do, I want to do, and I do it because I want to do. I teach because I like to teach. I go to the theater because I love the theater. And I spend time with my 4 wonderful granddaughters because I love them dearly. If I had one thing on my bucket list, which I suspect is on most women's bucket lists, is I want to get the house organized and decluttered. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. I'm going to leave it all to my kids and let them worry about it all. So that's my thought about bucket lists. That old April yearning once more is returning, and I have a longing to wander. The leaves may be falling, but April is calling, and the primroses beckon me yonder. One more walk around the garden, one more stroll along the shore, one more memory I can dream about until I dream no more. For one more time perhaps the dawn will wait, and one more prayer, it's not too late to gather one more rose before I say goodbye and close the garden gate. I left lying somewhere behind me. For one more walk around the garden, one more stroll along the shore, one more memory I can dream about until I dream no more. For one more time perhaps the dawn will wait, and one more prayer, it's not too late to gather one more rose before I say goodbye and close the garden gate. One more rose before I close the garden gate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Karen Isaacs. Now please welcome our next entertainer. I know many of you are here for her. Regan Flynn!
Whatever Regan wants, Regan gets. And little Regan wants you. Make up your mind to have no regrets.
No regrets.
Recline yourself, resign yourself, you're through. I always get what I aim for, and your heart and soul. Here's what I came for. Whatever Regan wants,
Regan wants.
Regan gets.
Regan gets.
Take off your coat, don't you know you can't win?
Can't win. You'll never, never win.
You're no exception to the rule. I'm irresistible, you fool, give in.
Can't win. You'll never win.
Whatever Regan wants,
Regan gets.
I always get what I aim for, and your heart and soul is what I came for. Whatever Regan wants,
Regan wants.
Regan gets.
Regan gets.
Take off your coat, don't you know you can't win?
Can't win. You'll never, never win.
You're no exception to the rule. I'm irresistible, you fool. Give in,
Give in. You'll never win.
give in,
Give in. You'll never win.
give in. Well, now that we got that established, so the song, for those who don't know, is Whatever Lola Wants from Damn Yankees.
Oh.
And, hi Jeff. And, so when Kenneth suggested maybe I say Regan, I refused. Looked at him and said, I refuse to do that. But then, I don't know, we played with it a little bit. My classmates were like, it's awesome, you should do it. And I thought, okay, like, I'm a little more confident today, maybe a little more playful, maybe sometimes a little bit less worried about what people are gonna think, so let's go for it. And a big reason that I am this different version of myself is that in a few weeks I will be celebrating 10 years of sobriety. So yeah, it's pretty good today, but it was definitely really, really difficult at times, and but I wouldn't change any of it. And there's a composer that some of you may have heard of named Mark Cohn, who also went through different stuff, but some pretty major challenges in his life, and was at a point where he was uninspired and a writer's block, and just not at all sure that he was gonna make it as a singer-songwriter. And so he took a trip that changed everything. Put on my blue suede shoes and boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy, won't you look down over me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a girl can be. When I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off of Beale, I'm walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? I saw the ghost of Elvis on Union Avenue. I followed him up to the gates of Graceland, and I watched him walk right through. Now security, they did not see him, they just hovered round his tomb. And there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. When I was walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off the field, walking in Memphis. But do I really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table, they've got gospel in the air, and Reverend Green will be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. But boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Muriel plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood, and they brought me down to see her, and they asked me if I would do a little number. So I sang with all my might, and she said, tell me, are you a Christian child? And I said, ma'am, I am tonight. I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off of Beale. We're walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? Walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off of Beale. We're walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? Put on my blue suede shoes and boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. So I've traveled a lot in my life. I've been to Memphis. I've been really lucky to travel quite a bit, and I've also moved a lot. Last time I counted, at the advice of my sponsor, it was 20 times, 20 moves in my life. And so yeah, I was kind of trying to outrun myself, and what I learned is that you can't really do that, and everywhere I go, there I am. So then I got used to me, and I got comfortable with me, and I learned to like me, and sometimes even love me, and I developed a sense of, you know, who I am and where I belong. Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood, hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. But I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind. I've seen all the movie stars in their fancy cars and their limousines. Been high in the Rockies, under the evergreens. But I know what I'm needing, and I don't want to waste more time. I'm in a New York state of mind. It was so easy living day by day, out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. The New York Times, the Daily News. Comes down to reality. It's fine with me 'cause I've let it slide. Don't care if it's Chinatown or on a riverside. I don't have any reasons, left them all behind. I'm in a New York state of mind. Give it up for Kenneth Gartman. Comes down to reality. It's fine with me 'cause I've let it slide. I don't care if it's Chinatown or on a riverside. I don't have any reasons, left them all behind. I'm in a New York state of mind. I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a
Ladies and gentlemen, Regan Flynn. So good so far, yes? Yeah. I know, right? Oh, they work so hard. It's been so much fun seeing the journey and the level of comfort. I remember Regan, for example, in the first couple of classes being like, the performance is optional, right? And I'm like, no, the performance is not optional. She was like, I can stand and do the whole thing just facing this way, right? I'm like, no, but we can start your set by facing that way, and then it will give her some comfort. So that was good. But it's been so much fun working with them, and I want to thank you all for being here. There is one more person, so don't fret, because I know some of you are like, wait, hold on, my friend, it's her birthday. Don't skip her. I'm not skipping her, don't worry. But I want to thank Steve Bustamante on video. He's getting us to you at home or wherever you're streaming from. I want to thank Sean Moninger on lights and sound for making us look and sound beautiful. And I want to thank each of these women, Cathy Cavender, Karen Isaacs, Regan Flynn, and Tina Burgett for taking the journey with me. And if you feel like you want to do this kind of journey sometime, hey, we've got another workshop. It's almost full. I think there are only one or two spots left. One spot left, I think, in the one coming up in January. Sometimes the January one is good. It gives you a way to get through winter, something to look forward to. And so if you're at all interested, by all means, you know how to find me. You got your tickets through my website. There's a link there. There's information. So if you're at all interested, I'm happy to hear from you. So let's give a warm welcome. I'll do it from over here.
Do it from over here.
To our birthday girl, Tina Burgett.
I wanna laugh, all of my laughter. I wanna cry, all of my tears. I wanna turn on my lights and see all of the sights and clear all of the music before it disappears. I wanna sing all of my love songs. I wanna drink all of my wine. I wanna ride on a skylark and climb a giraffe. This life is my lark, and I won't take half. I wanna laugh, all of my laughter before I go. I wanna chase all of my rainbows and spread my wings and take the sky. I wanna burst my cocoon, 'cause the time's coming soon when this dull caterpillar becomes a butterfly. I wanna light all of my fireworks. I want to see and feel my glow, 'cause there's just one life that's mine. What? I don't know. I've got confetti I'm ready to throw. I wanna live all of my laughter before I go.
have a
And
vacuum
birthday
for you.
girls don't either.
I'll do it for you. That's your gift.
Oh, that's my gift. Hey. So on March the 12th, 2020, Broadway went dark. And every show closed, including the big hit Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge was one of the hardest hit of the Broadway shows. And 25 cast members were ultimately diagnosed with COVID. 2 of those 25 went to the hospital, including one, Danny Burstein. Now, Danny was hospitalized for about 6 or 7 days. And during that time, he had a roommate by the name of Jose, who heard Danny being called Danny Bernstein, winner of a Tony, and so he started calling him Tony. They became really good friends, Tony and Jose. By about day 3, though, in the hospital, Danny thought, this is it. This is the end. I can't breathe. I need help. And so he texted all of his friends and said, send me jokes, send me funny stories, I need to laugh. He then started practicing his deep breathing, his exercises that he learned in acting school, and he brought his oxygen level way back up, and the doctors released him. They probably shouldn't have, but at that time, every bed was precious. And Danny was allowed to go home to his children and his wife, Rebecca Luker. Now, Rebecca herself is a Broadway star and a brilliant soprano. And she had been diagnosed in late 2019 with ALS. What COVID did was to give him the time to be with her. And she died on December 23rd, 2020. Danny knew he wanted to get back onto Broadway. He knew that to honor her legacy, it was important for him to get ready to resume his role in Moulin Rouge. I never dreamed of this sorrow. I never thought I'd have reason to lament. I hoped I'd never know heartbreak. How I wish I could change the way things went. I wanted nothing but goodness. I wanted reason to prevail, not this bare emptiness. I wanted days of plenty, but I refuse to feel tragic. I am aching for more than pain and grief. There has got to be meaning. Most of all, when a life has been so brief, I have got to learn something. How can I give her any less? I want life to go on. I want days of plenty. You have to believe there is reason for this. You have to believe the answers will come. You can't let this defeat you. I won't let this defeat you. You must fight to keep her there within you. So believe that she mattered, and believe that she always guarantee. On September 27th, 2021, Danny Burstein was given his Tony Award. Now, this was his 7th nomination, and he's been on Broadway for some 30-odd years in multiple shows. What I loved about Danny when he stood up in front of the audience in the theater on the 27th was he gave thanks for his family. His son Alex was there. He gave thanks to Rebecca Luker, the wife he adored for 20 years. Her legacy has inspired him. And then he turned to the audience and he said, I want to thank all of you here. I want you to know the gratitude I feel for all of you here. I want to thank every one of you. You sent cards, you sent letters, you sent food, you sent a dinner, you even sent bagels. I am so grateful to all of you. That gratitude has lifted me up. Guys, just right for some kissing, and I mean to kiss me a few. Oh, those guys don't know what they're missing. I've got a lot of living to do. There's wine already for tasting, and there's Cadillacs all shiny and new. I don't move 'cause time is a-wasting. There's such a lot of living to do. There's music to play, places to go, people to see. Everything for you and me. Life's a ball, if only you know it. And it's all just waiting for you. Gotta move and come on and show it. There's such a lot of living to do. There's music to play, places to go, people to see. Everything for you and me. Life's a ball, if only you know it. And it's all just waiting for you. Come along and learn and show it. There's such a lot of living, such a lot of living. What a lot of living to do. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tina Burgett. And now welcome all of the performers from tonight. Miss Cathy Cavender. Miss Karen Isaac. Regan Flynn. And Tina Burgett. Thank y'all for coming. They'll be out to visit with y'all in just a second, and y'all can say your hellos and all that good stuff. I know some of you already go.